Back in Sioux City, Midland needs this one. They played better in that set, but still fell away at the end to Lindsey Wilson. And Lindsey Wilson hoping to put it all together here in the third set and move on to play what it looks like will be Park tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock right here on Court 2, and that one will be telecast on ESPN 3. So a chance for the general public to enjoy the fun of the NAIA volleyball right here from Sioux City tomorrow. First for the two matches at 11 o'clock, the semifinals, and then the final at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And Lindsey Wilson will serve first. Larzale will go back to serve for the Blue Raiders. Larzale will set up on the left corner and get things underway in this third set. She launches, takes it to the back row to Russell, and the put down by Priscilla O'Dowd. O'Dowd is a 6'1 senior from Omaha, so she is trying to prevent this from being her last volleyball match in a uniform for the Midland Warriors. And Brooke Fredrickson will come in to serve for Midland with the 1-point lead. Fredrickson shoots it back to DeSouza. Overpass. Here's the attack for Midland. Slide set to the backside, and O'Dowd gets it down. And it's 2-0 Midland. Tight window there for O'Dowd, but that slide set was right in her rhythm, and she put it away. Brooke Fredrickson back to serve. Good start for Midland in the third set as they want to take a set. That goes back to Larzale, pushed over by Gracie Blomstad, covered by Midland to the back corner. Here's the swing for Ellie Burke, covered. Back to the front row to Bear. She pushes it to Larzale, and Bear gets the kill down. That's Ellie Burke, rather, gets the kill down for the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders, and a side out. And Lindsey Wilson trails by 1, 2-1 to Midland, as back to serve goes Ellie Burke. Burke from the left side shoots it right on the line. Fredrickson makes the right play, and O'Dowd with that slide set again puts it away, right at the feet of DeSouza. O'Dowd having a nice match here for the Warriors. 11 kills. She's hitting .556. She was one of the leading efficiency persons on the attack in the country, if not the best. Larzale with a good pass. Slide set to Blomstad. Jenny Bear gets it covered. Free ball will put the attack of Lindsey Wilson in motion. To the outside to Mikelova. Covered by Bear. The quick set to O'Dowd. A wide open corner. A little looper to the corner away from the diving DeSouza, and O'Dowd continues to get effective kills. 12 out of 19 now with just one error for O'Dowd. And Jenny Bear goes back to serve. She takes it cross court for the miss and hands the side out to Lindsey Wilson. Back to serve goes Klara Mikelova for the Blue Raiders. She has the signal. Now she will launch from the right corner. Cross court. Russell has the on-target pass. Huge swing from Peterson is covered. Through the wheelhouse of Fredrickson. Push at the net. Great recovery there on a scramble play. And Sarah Cruz puts it away for the Blue Raiders. That ended up with a pretty neat set to the outside with a single block, and Sarah Cruz cleaned it up with a seam kill. 4-3, Midland up by 1. Klara Mikelova shoots it back to Fredrickson. The set to the outside. It's on the floor in the corner. Taylor Peterson. And this Midland team looks like they want to win this set. They are looking pretty sharp here in the early part of this set. Peterson now with 4 kills in 18 swings. Priscilla O'Dowd serves it to the outside. And that's off the aerial. That's a hitting error for Sarah Cruz. Priscilla O'Dowd goes back to work at the service line. And Midland has doubled up on Lindsey Wilson in the third set. Southern Oregon trying to fight back against Park on the other court, but Park has the 2-0 lead. Powered over, run down by Brooke Fredrickson on the Syracuse kill attempt. Lars Allaire up to the setter, the quick to Blomstead. She pancakes Fredrickson. The deflection goes back to Lindsey Wilson. Free ball. The slide set to the backside, and a miss on that slide for Morehouse. Sidney couldn't quite get it on the tape. Lindsey Wilson within 2, 6-4. Peyton Johnston back to serve for the Blue Raiders. Johnston from the right corner puts it in play. The set back to Taylor Fredrickson, and that's off the block and down. Taylor Peterson, rather. And back to serve for Midland, Jessica Peters, the setter. Midland up by 3, 7-4. Trying to turn this one around by taking this first set. Mikelova has the on-target pass. Slide set, and that's going to be down for Lindsey Wilson. Keisha Nederle puts it down on the slide set. That has been a pretty potent setting choice for both setters tonight, as Peterson has found O'Dowd several times. O'Dowd has this pass. Peterson, the middle set is going to be down off of Mikelova. Peterson puts it over for the kill. Peterson is from Auburn, Nebraska, a junior, so she will be back next year. Skovsenda goes back to serve for Midland. It's 8-5 Midland. Skovsenda walks into her serve and serves it out the back door, and Lindsey Wilson within 2 again, 8-6. Here comes the libero, Jasa Russell. DeSouza will go back to serve for Lindsey Wilson. Nathalia DeSouza, as Lindsey Wilson wants to nudge a bit closer here. DeSouza has the call from Andy Cavens, now wrists it over. O'Dowd with an on-target pass to Bear, and Bear misses badly. She got way on the outside of that ball and hooked it about 6 feet to the inside of the line. And Lindsey Wilson is within 1, 8-7, as DeSouza goes back to serve. DeSouza middle of the floor. 2 players converge. Bear sends it over to Lindsey Wilson to the outside to Mikelova. Dug out by Priscilla O'Dowd. Bear takes the load and gets the kill down off the block. Ellie Burke got there, put up a finger, but could not slow it down. And Bear scores the kill, and the lead remains with Midland, 9-7. Paul Geiselman calls out the signal on the serve. And pushed over by number 17, Wecker, and the kill is down, and that will be on the wrong side of the net for Lindsey Wilson, and the point goes to Midland. They are up by 3, 10-7. Wecker back to serve. 10-7 Midland after dropping the first 2 sets. High pop-up for DeSouza. Free ball by Klara Mikelova. Russell, the quick set to O'Dowd, this time covered, but slapped out of bounds by Lindsey Wilson. Last touch there by Mikelova. Andy Cavens barking a little bit as his team comes to the sideline. 11-7 Midland. It's a 2-0 lead in the match for Lindsey Wilson, but Midland making some noise. Lindsey Wilson wants the side out. Andy Cavens has the instructions if they get into their system. And here goes Wecker with a serve. Got to keep it in. Lars Allaire gets the perfect pass. The quick set is down as Lindsey Wilson runs the play to Soboleska, and it works. So Lindsey Wilson gets the side out. It's 11-8, and Lars Allaire goes back to serve for the Blue Raiders. I love that color blue on her jersey there for the libero, and a shank by Jenny Bear gives 2 in a row to Lindsey Wilson. And they are within 2 after the timeout from Andy Cavens. Lars Allaire back to serve for the Blue Raiders. Trying to get it one closer. Lars Allaire shoots it back to Bear. That's to nobody. A reach. Finally swatted over by Wecker. Into the block. Pushed behind the block by Bear. To the backside to Burke. swept into the air beautifully by Peters. And that's going to be down from Midland as Larzalaire got over there and could not get it back to her teammates. That high ball way in the air, but Larzalaire, a late jump, and it just fell as she was laying on the line, and that made it an out call. 12-9 Midland. And Brooke Fredrickson waits to serve. Here comes that high toss out of the railing. And the overspin ball sails just under the tape for the service error. 12-10. And there's no defense for that. It's one against the world, and if it doesn't get over, it's a point for the other team. Ellie Burke goes back to serve for the Blue Raiders. Takes it to the back line, covered by Wecker. Jenny Baer can't get it over the net. And a mini meltdown here for Midland after they enjoyed the 4-point lead. It's 12-11. Lindsey Wilson enjoyed the timeout by Andy Cavens, and they are within one out of the timeout. Ellie Burke loads it up, sends it back to Wecker. Peters to O'Dowd. Second load to O'Dowd. DeSouza's there. Outside to Mikelova. Wecker with a deflection. Fredrickson pushes it behind the net. And we're tied up at 12 on a furious rally by Lindsey Wilson after the Andy Cavens tie out. And once again, want to say hello to Jessica Cavens watching in Texas tonight, Andy's wife. And back to serve, Ellie Burke. Wecker has the on-target pass to Peters. The slide set to O'Dowd. Larzalaire with a great move to keep that alive. Mikelova, roll shot over the top. Wecker is there. Peters to O'Dowd, an open corner. Gives way to a point from Priscilla O'Dowd. 13-12, Midland. Jenny Baer goes back to serve for the Warriors. She crouches, uncoils into it. Mikelova gets the setback after the pass and tools it off the block for the kill. Peters was there. She couldn't close the block. And we are tied up again at 13. Midland down 2-0. Lindsey Wilson tried to make quick work of the Midland Warriors here tonight. Mikelova moves over. The pass by Russell, effective. Pushed over on the swing by Taylor Peterson, and trouble handling the ball by Russell, Jasa Russell. And it's a lead for Lindsey Wilson. They have come back from 4 down to take it over by 1. And Klara Mikelova flops it off the net. A reach by O'Dowd saves the day temporarily. Peterson pushes it over. Larzalaire gets there to the outside, and that misses out the back door for Sarah Cruz. That roll shot got a little bit airborne on Sarah Cruz, and we are tied up at 14. Priscilla O'Dowd will go back to serve. She's got a lot of game, and this is a strong part of her game as well. The pass by Burke is there, and Sarah Cruz gets blocked back by Midland. It's a 15-14 Midland lead in the middle third of this third set. Jenny Baer will go back to serve. That's O'Dowd, rather. Shoots it to the back corner to Mikelova. The set out to Sarah Cruz. Blocked back by the block of Peters. Pushed over. Right there is Brooke Fredrickson. And there's an Ellie Burke save on a push. Back row attack covered by Midland to the opposite side. And Peterson gets stuffed by Blomstedt. Blomstedt goes up with that one and sends it to the floor. We're tied up at 15, and this has gotten to be a very entertaining third set after we were kind of nodding our way through the first two, and Lindsey Wilson was handling Midland pretty easily. And back to serve Peyton Johnston. She waits for the signal. Andy Cavens walks out to shout out some instructions to his Blue Raiders. Johnston back to serve. Floated back to O'Dowd. The slide set. Morehouse gets dug out in the back corner by Mikelova, and then a hitting error on the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders, Autumn Proctor. Right into the net. And the lead goes to Midland. And here's the serve for Jessica Peters. Shoot set to the outside, and Sarah Cruz misses. And Midland's back up by 2. They squandered the 4-point lead to Lindsey Wilson. Now they have reestablished a 2-point lead. Jessica Peters back to serve. Just over the net, swept into the air. The set to the outside. Sarah Cruz hits aerial. She's a wild swinger right now. And she gives up another point to Midland, 18-15. It all starts with a 1-set win, and then you can go ahead and win the second one and the third one, even if you're down 2-0. Doesn't happen very often, but Midland is motivated. And Mikelova misses by an inch on that sideline on that cross. And the side judge gets a little bit of a look from Mikelova as they walk to the Andy Cavens tied out. So Court 1 and Court 2 as trying to take the third set off of Lindsey Wilson. So nothing's done until it's done, as they say. And Midland still serving, and the setter, Jessica Peters, will go back to serve. So Peters from the right corner, trying to get Midland to 20 for the first time in this match. That looks deep, but played on the back line by Mikelova. Slide set, pushed over on the attack by Keisha, and put to the floor off the touch, and Midland's at 20. Keisha Nadirla didn't get that done, and Midland came back and attacked and got a touch at the net. 20-15, Jessica Peters may close it out herself, all the way back to Mikelova. The quick set covered with a quick reaction. Brooke Frederickson gets it down. Lindsey Wilson loses it out of the block on the hard swing by Frederickson. Midland 21-15. Jessica Peters back to serve. She'll take it down the line. Covered, Ellie Burke, and then a miss for Lindsey Wilson. And look at that look. I'm not sure what Sarah Cruz is looking at. She's the one that hit it. 22-15. Jessica Peters back to serve. To the back line. Mikelova with another solid play. Pushed over by the attack. Here's Lindsey Wilson on the attack to the middle. That's a side out for Lindsey Wilson Soboleska. 22-16. As Lindsey Wilson spotted Midland too much of a lead to come back. We'll find out. 22-16. Lindsey Wilson has the side out. Back to serve Autumn Proctor for the ace. 2 in a row for the Blue Raiders. 22-17. And Paul Geiselman will not wait too long to call the timeout here if Lindsey Wilson gets ahead of steam. And Proctor goes back to serve. And Southern Oregon takes the third set from Park. Proctor puts it back to Russell. Free ball by Frederickson over to the other side. Pushed over by Maggie Hewitt. The push by Sarah Cruz is covered. The quick to Morehouse way out the back door. And a meltdown all of a sudden for Midland, 22-18. Proctor back to serve. There's the Paul Geiselman timeout. He's going to see if he can coach 11 kills. She's hitting 2 for Soboleska. She's hitting 526. That is a sweet kill efficiency number. 10 digs for Autumn Proctor, 13 for Lilo Larzalier. For Midland, 10 digs for Priscilla O'Dowd led the way. So Lindsey Wilson will try to move closer. They're down by 4. Midland is stuck on 22, and the service error puts Midland at 23. Priscilla O'Dowd watched that one go by as it landed out. And that timeout worked well for Paul Geiselman. And back to serve, Caitlin Simon for Midland. She loads it up from the right side. I don't know if we've seen her so far. The pass is on target, off the block and down, straight down the sideline. And that works for Soboleska. And Midland will try to do no worse than match points for a couple of more points. 23-19. Midland trying to get home in the third set. DeSouza back to serve for the Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders. DeSouza wrists it back to Russell. The set to the outside. High bounce off the block by Bear, covered by Lindsey Wilson, and Mikelova puts it to the floor. Peterson was perfectly placed, but she could not get that one up on the dig. 23-20. Lindsey Wilson 3 points back. DeSouza back to serve. Paul Geiselman very close to another timeout if Lindsey Wilson scores again. DeSouza launches it back to O'Dowd. The quick set to the middle. Morehouse gets dug out. DeSouza sweeps it to the outside. Into the block. Knocked back by Midland. Right back to Mikelova. O'Dowd gives up the kill. And it's a 2-point game. And you got to wonder what's running through Paul Geiselman's head. This is his season right here, and he has seen much of his lead go away. He's thinking his team can get a stop to Lindsey Wilson and move to 24. DeSouza back to serve. Midland needs the point, obviously. DeSouza takes it to the back line, covered. O'Dowd pushed over, covered in the back row by Autumn Proctor. And a hitting error for Lindsey Wilson gives Midland a little breathing room. Back to serve goes Mackenzie Wecker for the Warriors. 24-21. It all starts by winning one set. Can Wecker take it home from the service line? Deep ball to DeSouza, banged around, finally over to Midland. How did that end up on Midland's side of the net? Tipped over by Peters, covered with a dive by DeSouza, and then punched to the floor by Soboleska. And things getting a little bit tight around the collar. 24-22. Wow, this one has been back and forth, and Lindsey Wilson not giving up as Lars Allaire back to serve for Lindsey Wilson. Deep ball, covered by Russell. O'Dowd doesn't get anything on that cross, and Soboleska gets dug out to Jenny Bear. They'd love to get a finish, but DeSouza makes the play. Back out to Mikelova, hitting error, and Midland wins. Midland hangs on by the skin of their teeth, and they can hear hoof prints of the Blue Raiders behind them. But Midland takes the set, and we're back in a moment with set number 4.